It took me more than 30 years to discover that we need to cut a line in the middle of a band-aid to use it properly. No wonder it always falls off when I bandage a wound. Almost every family keeps a few band-aids. I cut my hand while preparing food, and a small amount of blood came out. If the wound is not serious, we will use a band-aid to stop the bleeding. This will protect the wound from bacterial infection. The wound will heal itself in a few days. When we use band-aids, I guess many of you are doing it the wrong way. Most of us just stick it in one piece. This way will not wrap the wound well. And our hands touching water every day will make the band-aids easier to fall off. I have pulled it out and put it on many times. Put it on and take it off. A band-aid that is applied many times, the wound is more likely to get infected due to cross-infection of bacteria. So, this way of applying it to the wound is not good. If it is a hand joint injury, you will be more frustrated when gluing it into one piece because the knuckles are difficult to move, making it very inconvenient for you to work. In addition, too much movement while working will cause the wound to be pulled in and out and making the wound even more painful. In fact, there are tips for using band-aids effectively. First tip. This tip is mainly for wounds at the fingertips. We can start by tearing off the band-aid. Then take out the band-aid. When we use the band-aid, use scissors to cut a line on each side of the band-aid. But be careful not to cut into the sponge in the middle. Regular band-aids will have some hemostatic, antibacterial, anti-inflammatory effects, and some medicines will be in the sponge, so we should not break the sponge in the middle. Cut the band-aid like this so that when we use it, it will stick more firmly. For wounds at the fingertips, we will place the wound on the sponge. Then, place the band-aid on both sides of the finger. Stick it on your finger. Stick it diagonally like this. The bandage will stick more firmly. Although we often come into contact with water, the band-aid will not peel off. So when we use a band-aid, it is better to cut a slit on each side. Then it will be very tight and easy to move. The second tip is applied if it is a wound on your knuckle. If we wrap it as we usually do, your knuckle will be covered with a band-aid. With this method, when we move the knuckles, it will become very difficult and can cause pain and will be more uncomfortable. Therefore, we also cut a line on each side of the band-aid, not cutting into the sponge part. Then, use the cut band-aid to bandage the wound. With each side of the band-aid, stick them diagonally but in the opposite direction. With this method, the band-aid not only does not stick well, covering the entire wound, but it is also very easy to move the knuckle. This is because the gap in this band-aid is created. Therefore, when we move the knuckles, it will be much more convenient. Even if there is a band-aid on my finger, our fingers can still be used to do everything. So when we use a band-aid, we should cut both sides of the band-aid before using it. It is much more convenient to use a band-aid because the band-aid is more sticky. It is not easy to fall off when it meets water, and the movement is comfortable. Remember, when you apply a band-aid, remember to cut both sides of the band-aid, then use it. That is the right way to use a band-aid. In fact, band-aid are not only commonly used as wound dressings, they have many more uses. They are also extremely useful. For example, anti-slip glasses. In life, many people with myopia often have to wear glasses. New glasses are usually quite tight, not easy to fall off when wearing. But after a period of use, they will be deformed and become loose, easy to slip off if you are not careful. Therefore, you often see people who wear glasses often push their glasses up over time. Especially in the summer or when sweating a lot, just a little sweat on the face and the glasses will start to slip. Most people do not know how we can solve this problem. Actually, a band-aid will solve this problem. Let's take out the band-aid, then cut it in half. Then we put the cotton pad on the temple and roll it up like this. Stick both temple, it is beautiful and more stable. This way, the glasses no longer shrink and retract when worn. It also frees up our hands. You don't have to push your glasses anymore. The second benefit, it can cool your phone. Now most people, especially young people like us, always keep their mobile phones within reach. Watch videos to catch up with fashion trends, surf social networks, and play a lot of games. But after using the phone for a long time, it becomes very hot. Not only uncomfortable for the hand, but it can also damage some parts and even have to repair your phone. How do you cool your phone quickly so as not to damage the phone? Here you can cleverly use a Band-Aid. In the middle of the Band-Aid is a layer of cotton that has good water absorption. Taking advantage of this property of the cotton layer, we add a few drops of essential oil or alcohol to it. Essential oil and alcohol are very volatile, so it makes the phone dissipate heat quickly. Stick it on your phone like this, the temperature will quickly drop. It is only on the outside of the phone case, so there is no need to worry about damage or moisture. It will not affect the improper use of the mobile phone. Which part of the phone do you think is hot? Mostly the whole phone is hot. After doing this, it will be effective soon. When your phone is hot, try to cool it down with this method. The third tip prevents shoes from rubbing against the heel. Shoes are essential in life. I wear shoes every day, but I am very afraid of new shoes, especially high heels. It is not yet familiar to my feet, so it is easy to hit the heels. It can blister and tear the skin. If you encounter this situation, you can stick a Band-Aid on your heel or stick a Band-Aid on your shoe. This separates the direct contact between the shoe and the heel, reducing the friction between the shoe and the foot, so you will not be injured again. This method is simple, convenient, and saves money. Band-Aids are very small items, but have many great uses. Can solve small problems in life. A small shape, but using it wisely, will create practical benefits. Have you remembered the practical way to use a Band-Aid? If you have any other ways to use a Band-Aid, please leave a message in the comments section. The video ends here. If you have any comments, please leave a comment below. If you find the video interesting, please give me a like. Don't forget to share it with your relatives and friends. Remember to subscribe to the channel. Thank you for your support. Goodbye. See you in the next video.